Graham, are you ready?
Thanks, John. Afternoon, Bob.
How are you?
Good, thanks. You've had a little time to reflect and review Monday night's performance. You talked about a lack of confidence after the game. Are you happy with other kind of more fundamental things about the team at the moment? Attitude, work rate, that kind of stuff?
What I see is that on the surface, the group does a good job with everything. They understand going into a game what the opponent wants to try to do. They understand some of our ideas on how we're going to handle that. But everyone knows in a football match, then situations develop quickly. And the ability to recognize situations, smell danger, react quickly, make plays in moments that really count. For me, that's the area that I think is missing the most. And that's what I mean when I talk about lack of confidence. So you go through a game, you can appear for long stretches to be doing a solid enough job. But in moments that really count, and look, this for me was the difference on Monday night. I just think that you can't have 4, 5, 6, 8 plays a game where a ball pops loose a little bit differently than everyone expects, and then they're quick to try to make something out of it, and we've got enough people that are in the vicinity to deal with the situation, but we don't do it well enough. And I've seen examples of that in the games before I arrived, and I still see it. And so in many cases, we have enough people that have come back. It's not like we are stretched all over the field. It's not like people haven't made the effort to come back into the game. But in terms of inserting themselves in the right moment, doing it with a little more confidence and a little bit more commitment, we've got to grow in that regard. We can't be a team that gets caught in these situations the way we have, because that amounts to the goals that in the moment still make the big difference in terms of what happens in a match.
After the 3 games now, do you feel you're a little more familiar with what you have here, not just in terms of ability, but character, temperament, that kind of stuff?
I think every day I get to know players a little bit better. I think that's the most important part of the job when you arrive, is trying to figure out what everybody's about, trying to get trying to take the temperature of the group every day and know what's going on. And it becomes especially important when the task is big and when in the moment things aren't going well. And now there needs to be a mentality that's not the least bit afraid, that still understands every time we step on the field, this is the chance to turn things around. I'm not one that that hides that part of it. I'm strong to say, come on, this is football, all right? You don't get anywhere if everybody's kind of looking around for answers. I mean, the basics are right there, and I go to great lengths to show them some of those details. And again, you'd have to ask them, but maybe in some cases, some of the little things that I point out that lead to situations, that lead to some of the chances that we give up. Some of the little details maybe they miss along the way. Maybe they see something at the end of the play and think one guy could have done better. But usually those situations involve a lead-up of moments where it's not just on one player. It's usually that there's a group of players and how we respond in different situations. So for me, that is the area where I continue to figure out what they're all about, and you try to come up with ways to create training sessions to test that and make it better.
The table doesn't lie, as you said. It suggests you're in a lot of difficulty. Have you noticed this week particularly senior players have taken some responsibility?
Absolutely. Normally what I would do on my end is If we play a match on Saturday and now we come in on Monday, normally Monday I'll cover in a general way some things, but then we'll leave some of the video for Tuesday. And now we have a Monday night match. We travel back. We get home quite late. We come in Tuesday afternoon, and I pulled the video out very fast because I felt that this is a week where we've got to get at certain things. And the senior players at the end of all that were quick to say that's important. We've got to be honest with ourselves. We've got to look at those kind of details. So I feel good about the way we're all working, but it's not something that just because you cover it with video, just because you talk about it in different ways, it still has to now turn into real actions on the field.
The actions start on Saturday with Manchester United. Sunday rather. What do you feel about United, not only as a club and from afar, because you've obviously looked at them from afar, but in terms of the context of this game, is this a good time to play Manchester United? Their form's been indifferent. You're going to be firm underdogs. Is this a good moment?
If we can make those things work in our favor, sure, it's a good moment. But a second ago I said that you can come up with all these ways to address your team, but still it's got to turn into plays that matter. It's got to turn into what happens when we have the ball. It has to turn into reactions when we lose the ball. It has to turn into dealing with set pieces better. So, yes, in theory, it is a good time to play them. But now it's the responsibility on all of us to make sure that that's what happens come Sunday.
So what have you made of them this season?
I think that you've already said there's games that aren't as strong as you might expect. There are other games where you see signs that maybe it's starting to come together. Maybe they still haven't completely found their best team. Maybe again, in terms of how players get arranged on the field, they've got a lot of talent, but trying to find the balance in the team. I think every manager in the world thinks and talks about balance, how you get the right balance, who you put next, how you put players on the field so that the strengths and the weaknesses sort of complement. And so Jose comes in. He's got a lot of people to figure out. He's got some new players. And in the process, I don't think anybody that's watched them would say that it's been as consistent or as good as it could be.
You'll be on the sidelines. Jose Mourinho will be up in the stands. Is that going to make a difference?
Not for me. So, somebody can ask him that question this week. But no, for me, the focus is on our team. I've said at different times, I've met Jose along the way, have enjoyed a couple of very good conversations, and I still hope that I get a chance to catch up with him quickly. But the rest of what goes on, that's their side of the world, and we've got enough going here in Swansea to take full focus.
Do you feel the ban and the fine were deserved?
Again, whenever you get into these situations with the authorities, it's hard to know sometimes what's right, what's wrong. I don't have a good enough feel for precedent. Normally, decisions get made based upon other things that have happened in the past. I am a football manager, so I tend to side with football managers in these kind of situations. But all of us have to deal with the fact that somewhere along the line, you got to be smart about what you say and what you don't say. After the fact, it might feel good sometimes to get it out, but usually it doesn't change anything. I haven't seen too many calls after the match that get reversed. So it's it's part of what you deal with. It's easy after every game to look at all the things that didn't go in your favor. But as I've said, I don't believe in that. I think you have to focus on the part that you control as a manager, and you have to get that point across to your team, and understand that there may be days that calls go against us, calls go for us, the ball bounces for us, the ball bounces against us. But when all is said and done, we better know what we're all about, and we better try to make sure that we get our part right. And I think that's the best. Well, I shouldn't say the best. That's always been my approach.
We're about to go into another international break, Bob. You're 5 points adrift. How critical is this game?
In the moment, I think every game's critical. I said it before last game, and I know it's the case again. And so a team that is struggling to get results, a team that's struggling to get confidence, to be more consistent, to stop giving away some of the goals that we've given up. There's a lot of things that go on the list, and so every game now is critical in the sense that we look hard at all these areas, but now we have to have the confidence to go on the field and do it. And again, I'll say it, I believe it's a good group of players. They're good guys. They understand the importance of where we are at the moment. And now we've got to turn that into results and better football.
And just lastly from me, Bob, just wider afield, there's this ongoing dispute about the wearing of poppies in next week's international matches. As a new manager here, and maybe as an American as well, what do you feel about that?
The poppy is a symbol. It's Remembrance Day. It's Armistice Day. And so for people who have given their lives for their country, this means everything to me. Obviously, it's an important part of the way we're brought up in the United States. I have certainly met many people along the way who served the United States. My father was a Marine. He was in the Korean War. I know that this is more in terms of World War I and World War II, but to stand proud, have a symbol of those who fought for freedom and for their countries, for me, it's the most important thing.
Thanks, Bob.
So your players will be wearing poppies on their shirts on Sunday, aren't they?
Yes.
You know, you said about Mourinho seeking to find his sort of best team or whatever, effectively. Do you know your best 11 yet?
No. Trying to figure out every week what our best 11 is. But when you have a team that's gone through a stretch of results like we have, then what it means is that you have guys in up and down form, and even players that at times in the past have played well. Maybe in some cases they're not at their top level, and so you look every day in training. I put different combinations on the field. We try, in terms of tactics. It's not that the idea is to pull something totally different out every day, but to have some tactical flexibility, to still make sure that there's an understanding on the field of different ways to arrange players, so that now, depending upon the opponent, depending upon the situation, you have that versatility. I've always worked that way. So in the midst of that, in the midst of looking hard at the games that have been played thus far, I think we're still trying to find our best group, our most consistent group, and that part of the work, those discussions are absolutely ongoing. They take a long time.
But I suppose time is the last thing. I mean, you've got plenty of games left still, but in a sense, time is the last thing you've got, isn't it?
No, I agree with that.
So when do you hope to know your best team?
Sunday.
Good answer. You're also talking about in moments. It's important that your players don't fear going out on the pitch. Do you sense any of that at the moment?
No, I don't think there's any fear about going out on the pitch. But again, the kind of talk that you do to prepare a team, the video you show, the tactical details that get worked on the training pitch, that all just that sort of establishes the starting points. And then the game starts. And then you hope that you've done a good enough job that the things you've worked on, that it's still part of what's happening on the field. But then situations come out of that you don't always put on the script. Situations that come from reactions, situations that come from a ball pops loose and somebody on the field sees it first and not only gets there, but already has an idea in mind of what the next play is going to be. And then when that happens, how does the next team respond? And I don't think that we're at a consistently high level in those kind of situations. You can imagine, I hear different things after games, and so there's been certainly mention of Joe Allen. Right? Joe had a very good game, but somebody said, he had so much space. And actually, I don't think that's true. I think in terms of understanding where Joe would move, how many passes he got, where he got his passes, this kind of thing, I think we had a pretty good idea of everything. But at the same time, he's got, in the course of the game, 4 or 5 plays where he's a little quicker to see what's going on. The goal that comes off of the corner kick, when the first ball gets played in and Neil gets a head on it and it's up in the air, go back and watch the replay. Joe's already got an idea where that ball's falling in the box faster than anyone on our team. All right, and so again, you can establish some starting points when you defend set pieces. Are we going to be more men? Are we going to be more zone? Who's marking who? All that. But then when that set piece occurs, if something happens that's a little bit different than planned, then you rely on players' abilities to quickly react and see what's going on. I use the expression all the time, to make plays. If you're marking one man and you see the ball in the air, you have to make a decision. Do I stay with my man or can I go and attack the ball? All right. And again, I like it if a player, I don't want him being so weighed down with his assignment that he's afraid to go and make a play. So I would tell every player that now, you have to keep track of a man. But if the ball is loose and you can be there first, go for it, man, right? But still, in that situation, we have 4 or 5 guys. We're too slow, and it comes off of, like I said, it's a corner where if we do a little bit better job in the first zone, it doesn't end up going high in the air and coming down in our own box. So that's certainly part of it. But then there's other opportunities for players to see what's happening. So on the day, they won those battles, and look, what can you do at the end? I watched the game so many times. Joe Allen has a very good game. Wilfred Boney has a good game, all right? I think we have a few guys that play well, but still, these are the things that determine matches.
Whatever their form, whenever they're on the table, Manchester United is seen as, if you can beat them, a marquee victory. Obviously, you'd like any sort of victory, but what could a good result against Manchester United do for your team?
It would absolutely be reinforcement of the work, of the focus on certain details, and most importantly, it would be a confidence boost. Most importantly, it would be guys feeling like, man, maybe we can put this stretch behind us and start to look forward and see if we can build on a really good result.
Jefferson Montero, can he play any part on Sunday?
Yes.
How much of a boost is it to have him back then?
He brings something different, so it's been good for me to get him into full training, see some of the things that he's able to do. I've seen him before, so it's not that I start fresh, but he's got an ability to take certain plays and make something special happen, and that's always something that is important in a team.
Is he fit enough to start, in your opinion? Or?
It's at least in the discussion. So, again, if you start him, that doesn't always mean you think he can go 90 minutes, but it still can be part of the discussion for sure.
Okay, last couple from me. Have you heard the words of Dimitar Berbatov on radio last night, inviting any Premier League club to come and get him because he wants to play Premier League again? And if you haven't, and now I've told you, are you going to have a look at that?
I actually saw him at in May at the celebration game for Christos Stoichkov in Sofia. So, I've met Dimitar a few times, and I know that he is anxious to get back into the Premier League. So, everyone inside our club knows that, and so when there's discussions, his name is included. Where it takes us at this time, I don't have an answer for you, but certainly I know about his intentions, and I certainly have seen some of the good things he's done in the past.
He's on your radar?
Yeah, he's on. There's a lot of things on my radar right now.
And last one from me, have you got your postal vote in yet for the election?
I'm trying to work in the moving. I'm trying to make sure that I'm squared away for how I make my absentee ballot. So I'm still working on the details.
All the best.
Thank you.
Well, just one from me. You talked about confidence, how important confidence is for these players. How difficult is it for you as a manager to balance an element of pragmatism which you've got to have in terms of fielding the team that you think is the best at that point in time, but keeping that level of confidence across all your players before they actually get that much needed win? I mean, how is that as a balancing act?
There's a lot to balance right now. Again, I can talk about football things that in the long term we want to continue to work on and improve, but then you quickly look at each match and say, what's going to give us our best chance of 3 points in this match? And that's in terms of how you play, how you line up, who you pick. So, in the moment, for me, the balance of being very realistic in terms of where we are, trying to, with the rest of the staff, look so closely at the opponent and figure out what's going to be our best chance for this game. In the long run, maybe you start to establish some consistency and some football things that carry over a little bit more from one match to the next, to the next, to the next, and you tweak little things. But for now, we have to really think hard. And again, it's part of the responsibility. It's certainly played into the team that's been picked in all 3 matches, and it'll be the case again Sunday. So you still try in the moment to figure out with the players available what's going to give us our best chance, and make sure that everybody knows that they're important, that they're all being counted on for contributions in training during the week, and trying to keep everybody feeling right about the challenge we have as a team.
Are you happy and comfortable to be ruthless if you have to be?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Okay, folks? Cheers, bro.
Thank you.
Looking across the way, who's run 30 minutes about goal.